Well, this is some comments after the test flight in a few days to go back and look at the test flight videos and analyze them. And all of the videos that I posted were uncut videos. There was a couple of areas where I used slow motion, but that was to really analyze the video and then make it easy for someone else to as well. One of the things that I found after looking at those videos really close is it appeared to have I had more drag on the drive line than I had whenever I started. And closely checking that, as it turns out, the aluminum shaft that I used, which goes between this gear and the other gear on the other side, it actually bent in the middle. Now I've pulled the shaft out and I've used a short piece of material in there just to hold everything together. You might recall back in video update number 7 or 8, at the end of the video I talked about having some axles made or shafts made at a machine shop. I've got a machine shop that's building this shaft, and of course this one is aluminum. The one that's in here is aluminum, and what I'm having made is stainless. So the idea is it'll be stronger and we won't have any problems down the line with regards to the elements attacking it. And because I didn't think that it was going to hold up, so I went ahead and did that, and my theory was correct. It did not, because if I hold this, I just have the axle that I took out set in a bearing, and I'm actually spinning it on the other side, and you can get a good idea there of just how bent the shaft is. And so after about the second flight, it got to where it would not climb, and I think it got to where it would not climb because of the drag that was on the drive line after this axle had bent. And what bent the axle was, of course, the pressure on both sides, so it basically bent it in the middle, and that's what I wound up with, is both sides are bent, and by me putting it in here like this, you're able to see just how bad it's bent, which is pretty bad. So with that, the ferrules or shoulders, they seem to be holding up pretty good. I mean, I only had about 6 flights total on it, but so far so good with those. Once I get the shafts, I'm probably going to put as many flights as I possibly can, a few days straight, just because I want to get a lot of time on the drive line, and I want to get a lot of time on this joint right here where this piece of carbon meets the shoulder or the ferrule, and because those are the 2 areas that I'm most concerned about. Everything else I'm not really worried about. This, as far as the CG, now you can see where I had the battery. When I started the first flight, I actually had the battery setting all the way up here, and then I started moving the battery back, first 1 inch, and then 1.5 inches, and then I could go 2 inches, and that was about as far back as I could go. But I think the 1.5 inches, which would be right about there, I think that's about the right place, but I'll know more once I get the axle, the new shafts, and put one in here and do some more testing. Other than that, I was really pleased with the performance, the way it flew, the way it launched. Seemed to do really well. I do have the only part that I was missing was of course a motor and pinion gear. And then the other thing was O-rings, but I did place a large order for O-rings, and so I'll be waiting on those. And I did order some motors and pinions. I've got a couple of different motors to try out, so I look forward to getting those. They should be here in a few weeks. But the motor and pinion that I used was off of the Slowhawk that I bought, or the Slowhawk 3. So I basically am using that motor and pinion to do the test flights. And also the wing, I'm using the wing. My carbon should be here in a few days, and then I can go about building the wing. I did do a video on building the tail. If you guys want to see the information on building the wing, just let me know, and if you do, well then after I've built my first wing and test the concept and the technique, then I'll see about putting together a video to show how I did the wing. So with that, I think that's it for this update. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll do the best I can to answer them.